Good afternoon, viewers. Welcome back once again. This is Mr. Taiwo from grade 6. This is Tender Care Motorstolic International School, Cairo, Egypt. Now I'll be taking you science, which is predictor and prey. Predictor and prey. Last lesson we talked about food chain. Food chain. Another same topic, we continue with another subtopic, which is predictor and prey. Predictor and prey. What did I mean by predictor and prey? Animals that hunt other animals for food are called prey. This is underlined here. That is what I mean by predictor. Animals that hunt other animals for food are called predator. While animals killed by other animals are called prey. You can now see the difference between predator and prey. Predator are animals that kill other animals for food, while prey are animals that were killed by other animals. So this is the difference between predator and prey. Now, for producer and consumer. Producer and consumer. What did I mean by producer and consumer? A food chain always starts with a producer. That is, it must start with a producer. And what is this producer? An organism that makes food. That is, producer is an organism that makes food. Is an organism that made food. This is usually a green plant and can make their own food by photosynthesis. That is, green plant is the first producer. Is the first producer that produce food to animal. A food chain ends with consumer. That is the diagram. Here is a food chain. It ends with the consumer, starting from the what? From the producer. It starts from the producer and ends to the consumer. Now I have food web. Last week I explained food chain. Today I will be explaining food web. I will be explaining food web. That food chain is different from food web. Food chain only show the relationship from the producer to the final consumer. The relation from the producer to the final consumer. What is the first producer? The first producer is what? Plant, which is what? Grain plant, ending at the final consumer eagle. Now, but food webs. What is food webs? What is food web? This shows all the different things that animal eat in a habitat. I'm going to show you the image of food web. That is, it shows all the things that animal eat in habitat, starting from the producer down to the final consumer, down to various final consumer. Now, in this image, we are going to have various final consumer. You know, in food chain, we only have eagle as a final consumer, but in food web, the difference is that it has various final consumer, from one animal to another animal. Animal feed on animal, another animal feed by another animal. That is, predator feed by predator. What did I mean by that? That is, animal that feed on an animal can also be fed by another animal. So that is why food webs comes in. Now, before I would like to show you the image before I continue with the grain plant. Now, this is the image of food webs. This is the image of food web. Last week I showed you the image of food chain. You know, it's not something like this. It's not broad like this. But this food chain shows the relationship from the producer. You can see this is the producer, grain plant. It is the first producer that gives food to animal. It gives food to what? Rabbit. It gives food to rabbits. Now, rabbit gives food to what? White cat. White cat can feed on rabbit, and white cat can also feed on mouse. White rabbit can feed on green plant and can also feed on mouse. Mouse can feed on plants only. It can only feed from the first producer, which is what? The green plant. But rabbit can feed from both the first producer green plant and this mouse. And we have owl. Owl can feed on mouse only. You can see the arrow. The arrow from their food. Now owl is a predator, but mouse is a prey. Why is it prey only? Because he only feed on plants. But rabbit is also a predator. He feed on plants and also feed on other animals. We have snake. Snake can feed on mouse only. Snake is a what? A predator, but can also be a food to another animal. Can also be a prey to another animal, like kite. You can see this image, kite. Can feed on snake. Now we have lion. Lion, have you ever seen animal feed on lion before? Have you ever seen animal feed on lion? I've never heard about that before. You know animal that feed on lion? Have you seen that before? No. So I give lion the final consumer. Is the largest and the biggest predator. Can feed on animal but cannot be a food to another animal. Now lion can feed on white cats, can also feed on jackal, and can also feed on goats. Why? Goats and mouse take the same category because they feed on plants only. They are not predator. They only feed on plants. They are only prey for other animals. So this is food webs. It shows different type of things animals do in their habitat. Thank you. Then I will continue with my topic, green plants. Green plants. That is, I haven't said that earlier. That producer, the first producer green plant, this is it. It serves as food to animals. Now, how does green plant eat? There is a way green plant also feed. There is a way it also feed. How does green plant also feed? This makes their food using light energy from the sun. They feed on light energy because there is no way you be a food to something and you will not feed. So green plant also feed on something. It feed on light energy, which is called photosynthesis. That is the process whereby green plants feed on light. Now, green plants also use carbon dioxide from air and water from the soil. The carbon dioxide from air and water from the soil combine to make glucose for green plants. So both glucose and light energy serve as food to what? To green plant, which is the first producer. So with this explanation, I believe you would understand predator and prey. The largest predator and prey. And you will understand what I mean by producer and then consumer. And also food webs that I explained earlier. Thank you for watching. You can go to our YouTube channel, Tender Care Motorstolic, like and then comment. Bless you all. Love you.